Bandits release video of women in captivity await motorcycles before release. Just residents catch kidnapper after collecting 1.5 million naira ransom. 4 dead in boat mishap in Taraba. On the foreign scene, Burundi records 171 mpox cases. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us. Kidnappers of the 26 women of Alawa community in Shuru local government area of Niger State have released a video showing 2 of the women begging their families to bring ransom in order to set them free. In a 30-second video, one of the women whose hands were tied to a tree pleaded with her family to bring the items demanded to enable her return home. Speaking in Hausa language, she called on one of her relations, Abdurrahman, to help bring the items demanded to set her free. One of the residents, Abba Usman, who confirmed that the women were among the 26 that were kidnapped in February this year, said 6 motorcycles had already been delivered by the family of the 2 women, but their captors had insisted that 4 additional motorcycles must be brought before their release. He said the families of the remaining 24 women had already informed the bandits that they had no money to buy the number of motorcycles demanded, saying the captors were demanding 5 motorcycles for each of the 26 women, adding that each of the motorcycles cost 2 million naira. Residents of NEPA community of Jos, local government area of Plateau State, have arrested a suspected kidnapper who had succeeded in collecting 1.5 million naira ransom from the relatives of his abductees in Jos, the Plateau State capital. The spokesman of the State Police Command, DSP Alawa Alfred, who confirmed the incident, said the suspect is currently at the anti-kidnapping unit and being investigated. The vigilante in the NEPA community, who craved anonymity on Thursday, said the suspect, after being caught by the residents, was immediately handed over to the vigilantes in the area. He added that the suspect was later taken to the Laranto police station. River State Governor Fubara is set to revive the state's Neighborhood Watch, a community-based security outfit set up by the immediate past administration. Governor Fubara spoke on the consideration of reviving the security outfit when he met with its leaders behind closed doors at Government House in Port Harcourt. Briefing newsmen after the meeting, the head of command, River State Neighborhood Watch, Wogbo Lawrence, expressed satisfaction with the assurances given by the governor after 6 years of neglect. He explained that despite the lack of remuneration, the security outfit has struggled independently to sustain about 1,150 personnel and it has posted to the 23 local government areas of the state. Despite signing into law the act establishing an agency for the community-based security outfit in March 2018, its full operation suffered setbacks during the last administration as the opposition All Progressives Congress APC in the state alleged that the security architecture was to be used to intimidate its members in the 2019 elections. Four women have reportedly drowned in a boat accident that occurred in Taraba State. The incident, which took place on Wednesday evening on the river Benue in Taraba, occurred in the Mayo Renewable area of Altokola local government council. The tragedy is coming barely a year after several people drowned in the same river and the river Ibi in Ibi local government council. Trust TV recalls that in October of 2023, over 50 people drowned when a boat capsized on the same river while traveling to a neighboring village in Karim Lamido. The latest incident has once again cast a shadow over the community. Sources from the community who spoke with Trust TV confirmed that all the victims of Wednesday's accident were women. Boats carrying over 30 passengers were set out from Mayoranawo in Erdo Krola and heading to Belango in Karim Lamido local government council when the mishap occurred. Moving away from that, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has released the sacked chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Jalal Arabi, and the Commission's secretary, Abdullahi Kontogora, on bail. Arabi and Kontogora were detained over alleged illegal withdrawal and the mismanagement of the 90 billion naira 2024 Hajj Intervention Fund. They were, however, unable to meet their bail conditions and stayed in EFCC's custody for 5 days. But on Wednesday, a source familiar with the matter stated Arabi and Kontagora had met their bail conditions. The source said they were released on Monday, adding that no further recovery had been made after the first 314,098 Saudi riyal. Investigations revealed that from the 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy, Arabi fraudulently overpaid himself and others the necessary operational costs. Apart from the Hajj Intervention Fund, an investigation into the Commission's activities since 2022 resulted in the recovery of ESTA codes paid to staff who did not undertake study tours and payments made to a company for services that were not rendered. Now, the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, on Thursday advocated the need for measures to be put in place to reduce the burden on the Supreme Court. He explained that there are too many cases before the Apex Court which ought to have terminated at the Appellate Court. Justice Ariwola stated this at a valedictory session in his honor at the Supreme Court in Abuja. He said access to justice has contributed largely to the delay in the hearing of cases, as litigants and lawyers are forced to wait for several years to have their cases decided. Justice Ariwola explained that the right to fair hearing can only be guaranteed when lawyers and litigants do not have to wait for so long to have their cases heard. He also stressed the need for the bench to have more judicial officers to adjudicate all matters timeously. Then President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Ariwola as acting CJN in June of 2022, following the resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad on health grounds. He turned 70 this August 22nd, 2024. Flooding has cut off the Azare Jamari road along the Kano-Maiduguri highway in Bauchi State. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, who inspected the affected area, said he has reported the situation to the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, who had visited last week when the road was initially threatened. Mohammed also warned that communities are at risk of being submerged if the flow of water is not managed effectively. The incident occurred barely 2 weeks after downpour severely damaged the federal highway connecting Kano to Maiduguri, particularly between the Maluri and Guskuri villages in the Katagum local government area of Bauchi State. The flood created a large crater in the middle of the road, forcing motorists to find alternative routes. Bauchi in the northeast geological zone has been affected by flooding in the last weeks, with lives lost and thousands of houses destroyed. Ahead of its 25th year anniversary, the National Hospital Abuja is to partner with Trust Media Group on public enlightenment. The Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Muhammad Raji, made this known during a visit to the headquarters of Media Trust Group on Thursday. Speaking on medical tourism, Raji said the hospital is working to establish a VIP wing to provide more specialized medical services to discourage medical vacation overseas. The Group Chief Executive Officer of Media Trust Group, Ahmed Shekarau, assured of a robust relationship between the Media Group and the National Hospital for effective service delivery in the health sector.
But we are trying to change that tide. Part of the projects we want to do is a VIP section, presidential and VIP section. And in that, our aim is to really make it state-of-the-art facility, and then attached to it, the accommodation facilities should be like a 5-star to 7-star hotel. That's why we need to go into a PPP to do that, except if government would find some funding out of the scarce resources it has. But we don't want to overburden government, because we know government is really trying as much as it can to fund so many other things. So it's unrealistic to say we have to depend on government to do everything. So in this presidential wing, we intend to have toxicology lab that would serve the facility itself, and the toxicology lab should serve the presidents and VIPs of not only Nigeria, but the whole of the subcontinent. As you know, when you get to a certain level, even the food you are to take must be tested.
You know, whatever noise people make about the failure of our public institutions, there are some institutions that, you do actually, have to give, respect to. So I really, personally appreciate what you are doing. But I'm also personally worried that I've seen the expansion going on. I thought that in the last 25 years, the hospital should have actually expanded faster than it has done. But I know that some other parts that are usually in the past, car park and what have you, we've seen new buildings, new departments, is it departments or divisions? I mean, really very proud.
Still staying on health matters, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has seized 3 petrol tankers used to convey edible vegetable oil in Lagos State. In a post on X on Wednesday, the agency said the oil had reportedly been transloaded into the tankers from an edible oil depot. In an attached video showing one of the seized tankers, a NAFDAC official said credible information revealed that the same tankers used to load vegetable oil had been used to load petroleum products. He said the suspects were apprehended and the truck seized for further investigation. The official said the tankers can't load vegetable oil and at the same time have tags of petrol and diesel on them. He said investigation would inform the suspects of the dangers inherent in mixing petroleum products which are carcinogenic and not safe for human consumption. The agency said NAFDAC boss Muji Adeyeye has established a committee to develop guidelines and a code of ethics for the marketing and distribution of edible vegetable oils in Nigeria. Two more stories. Despite the introduction of new Naira by the Central Bank in Nigeria in October 2022 to replace the old versions of the 200, 500 and 100 and 1,000 Naira denominations, Nigerians have been reporting a dearth of new notes in circulation. Now, the old notes, which were meant to continue being legal tender alongside the new notes before they are eventually phased out, appear to be the main notes in circulation. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has more.
Specifically, the formal sector accounts for 65% of the country's GDP and 93% of employment. 90% of transactions in the informal economy are mainly in cash. Some of the traders and vendors in Bauchi acknowledge that the new notes have almost disappeared and urge the CBN to initiate policies that will guarantee economic boom. It is better for CBN to reprint more new Naira notes because we are doing transactions regularly. It's only old one in circulation. I can't recall when I saw new notes, but if the government can do well, the better for us. We knew that the new Naira notes printed during last administration is no longer visible to us, especially the small denominations. Even when we go to banks, hardly seen the new ones. Others said did not expect the new notes to last in circulation as a policy they allege was a deceitful move with a political undertone.
One we are using with polymer, they are no longer money that has value in the market because they don't count in the market. So the Naira note that they are being produced with, I think, the skin and the pepper are the more needed money because of the inflation.
Old Naira note is really becoming old and charred, and the new ones can only be found in the hands of the elites. So I begin to wonder why was it that they want to use it to differentiate between the poor and the rich or what? Because anytime it's in the hand of the elite that you see the new Naira note, and the poor has the old Naira note.
Lower denominations, 500, 100, 200, 50 Naira downward, they are all mutilated. You hardly see a new lower denomination currency as you see it now. And then the bank, when you reach to the bank, if you want to withdraw, the money they normally give to you is the all mutilated ones. So thereby government need to look through this issue. What is wrong? What has gone wrong in this, particularly when they are trying to reform the CBN now?
Although the CBN later reversed itself following after a court order saying the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira notes remain legal tender alongside the new notes, only the old notes seem to be in circulation. Begin the question why. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now, Nigeria ranks amongst the top 10 countries with the highest contributions to plastic pollution globally. This is according to the Global Plastic Action Partnership of the World Economic Forum. The country generates 2.5 million tons of plastic waste annually, with over 88% of the plastic waste generated in the country not recycled. To change the narrative, some Nigerians are now investing in plastic recycling, as Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail, who visited a plastic recycling plant in Abuja, reports.
According to scientists, plastics are synthetic polymers derived from the byproduct of petroleum. Some of its substances cannot be digested or decomposed by any microorganism, and hence plastics are non-biodegradable. Chariot Energy, a US-based renewable energy company, said plastics can take anywhere from 20 to 500 years to decompose, depending on the material and structure. That means plastic can only be managed, and the most effective way to do so is through recycling.
On the other hand, this material is needed by manufacturing companies for production. So I wanted to be the person to start the conversation around bridging the gap between, let's not throw this plastic on the floor, let's not throw this recyclable waste on the floor. We can actually convert it into money. So people who need money, they can actually collect and sell and have some income into their pocket. But at the same time, manufacturing companies that need this material can have material for their production cycle. So that was why I started Chanjedati almost 10 years ago, to number one, raise awareness and sensitization to people that this is actually money that people are throwing away. But at the same time, that, you know, these things are also harmful to the environment, they're harmful to people. And so we need to ensure that we are better stewards of the earth.
Collected from recycling agents from different parts of Nigeria. This is the procedure through which these plastic wastes are processed before being taken to a superior industrial companies within and outside the shores of Nigeria for transformation into brand new products like plastic chairs, sport jerseys, among others. The global plastic recycling market was valued at over $51 billion in 2023, and there is projection of an increase. Nigerians are benefiting from this huge amount of money domiciled in the recycling industry in the plastic world. But then they are operating amidst economic challenges that is pushing them to the brink.
We are looking forward to a level where we are going to replace our diesel power generators with gas power generators, so that we'll be able to reduce carbon emission, and at the same time also to reduce the cost of buying diesel. You understand, operations here will depend a lot of diesel and then power from the national grid.
In addition to curbing plastic pollution, this recycling plant provides job opportunities to at least 95 people on site and remotely.
Well, we in Chedidete in Giri, we used to produce pets and belly. We used to do crushing. This is the bag that we see here. This is the belly that we are seeing outside. This is what we are doing here.
Plastic recycling plants like this one always struggle to operate at optimal level due to shortage of resources to acquire modern machinery that will help create goods for domestic consumers and also discourage importation. But amidst the harsh economic conditions in the country, the priority is to stop the business from sinking. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Over in business, Nigeria State Oil Company, NNPC Limited, has released its 2023 full-year audited results, showing a profit after tax of 3.29 trillion naira. This represents a significant increase from the 2.5 trillion naira profit reported in 2022, marking a 31.6% year-on-year growth and the largest corporate profit reported by any Nigerian company. Total revenue generated for the 2023 naira rates used for the 2023. Revenue from Nigeria amounted to 21.3 trillion naira, representing 89.1% of total revenue, indicating that the corporation earned the majority of its income domestically rather than from international operations. The Niger Electricity Regulatory Commission has revealed that none of the 4 international bilateral customers being supplied by the power generation companies in the Niger electricity supply industry made payments against the cumulative invoice of $14.19 million issued by the market operator for services rendered in the first quarter of 2024. In a report, NERC said the companies are Para SB in Benin Republic, which owes $3.15 million, Transcorp SB in Benin, which owes $4.46 million, Mainstream Nigerlec in Togo at $1.21 million, and Odupani CEET in Togo at $5.36 million. NERC added that no remittances were made by bilateral customers within the country against a cumulative invoice of 1.86 million naira issued to them by the market operator for services rendered in Q1 of 2024. It, however, noted that some bilateral customers, both local and international, made payments during the quarter for outstanding market operator invoices from previous quarters. According to NERC, a cumulative total of $5.96 million was paid by 2 international customers, adding that the market operator received 505.71 million naira from 8 local bilateral customers as payment towards debt that were incurred pre-2024 Q1. The Commission said it was expecting the market operator to invoke the provisions of the market rules to curtail what it called the payment indiscipline being exhibited by local and international bilateral customers. Away from Nigeria, Burundi has confirmed 171 cases of Mpox, the health ministry announced on Thursday, following the first confirmed cases in the country last month. Formerly known as monkeypox, Mpox is an infectious disease caused by a virus transmitted to humans by infected animals. It can also be passed from human to human through close physical contact. We have a cumulative total of 171 confirmed positive cases, 137 of which are still active, Health Ministry spokesman Polycarp Ndayigeza said, adding that so far there have been no deaths from the disease. 3 cases of Mpox were detected in Burundi in late July, with the Health Ministry reporting 153 confirmed cases as of August 18. The epidemic continues to gain ground, the ministry said last month, adding that it was in the process of creating isolation wards in district hospitals to care for Mpox patients. With that, we've come to the end of news updates at this time. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, please do want to follow us on our social media platforms and our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us.